back, Miami Dolphins. We're going to talk quickly about some news that was just brought up in the press conference in Spain. It is Austin Jackson has been cleared to start practicing. And I think that is some of the greatest news that I've heard in a while. What people don't realize that we're going to be getting back with this dude is number one, our run game is going to get better. If you think about last year when Austin Jackson went down, nobody could really run the ball in this offense. Like, it was one of the major problems that we had on this offense. And him coming back, Larry Borum, he's been okay, but the swinging plays to get Devon Chan on the edge is something that, just simply put, Larry Borum can't do. He can't get out to the edge that quick, and that's why we typically run to the left a lot of the time, because obviously Patrick Paul and even Jonah is a little bit more mobile. Even though he hasn't had the greatest year, he's still a little more mobile than Cole Strange and Larry Borum. So getting Austin, I don't know if it's going to be this game. It would be cool to see Austin Jackson back this game, but we have a bye week next week. He didn't say anything about James Daniels, which, man, if that's not a typical Dolphins thing, that the major Pro Bowl signing that you had this year so far has only played 3 snaps. Man, it's tough. But hopefully he is able to come back next week, I'm hoping. But getting Austin Jackson back definitely changes a lot of things. It makes it much easier on the offense to run the ball to the right side. Austin Jackson, people don't give him credit for this, but he is a very good pulling and swinging tackle. And one of the underlying things, which I think is really going to help out a lot, Tua's left-handed. So Austin Jackson is his blind side. The right tackle is his blind side. It's not Patrick Paul's side. It's Austin Jackson's side. So I want to see what happens with Tua. I want to see how he performs this game. But I do think that getting Austin Jackson, he's been a mainstay there at the right tackle position for a while. I want to see if that makes Tua less jumpy, because a lot of the time I've seen it just seems some of those games where Tua just seems very jumpy, and it's warranted. Even Josh Allen looked jumpy last game. We were beating him down. But getting Austin Jackson back, he's probably going to be a lot calmer in the pocket versus what he has been this entire year, having Larry Borum over there. Because even though he's been doing okay, Tua doesn't really fully trust Larry Borum, but he trusts Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson has been here, I think was it right after they drafted Tua, or was it, I forgot. I think it was either the year or right after they drafted Tua. I think it was the year that they drafted Tua. Yeah, they drafted Austin Jackson later on in that draft. He's been his trusted right tackle for a while now, and I think it's going to make a clear difference in the passing game. On top of that, it's just going to make a difference in everything. I think people, really take away what Austin Jackson does on this team. Is he a Pro Bowl player? Iffy. There was a couple years, if he just didn't get injured, he probably would have been. But the run game is going to get better, and I do fully believe that when it comes to Tua, he's not going to freak out as quickly. He's going to be able to stay calm in the pocket. Now, Cole Strange is still over there, so is Jonah. But the guard position, Tua can definitely see a lot better, where he can understand what's happening there a lot better versus, when he gets jumpy, that right tackle position, he can't see what's behind him. So when Larry Borum is kind of, not having a greatest game, Tua tends to get, very jumpy, and he needs to get the ball out quick. So I'm wondering now, when you watch him, if Austin Jackson does play, or when he does play, hopefully we get James Daniels back as well pretty soon. I'm really hoping that we can go into the Saints game with our starting offensive line to see what Tua is like. Because when Tua has protection, as you've seen, Bills game, Atlanta Falcons game, the Jets game, the games that he's had protection, he's performed well. He's had multiple, you know, touchdowns, and he's performed well. It's just, again, when they start getting to him and they start having games where it's like that right side is just getting botched, by the pass rushers, Cleveland, stuff like that. It's been struggle bus city because he's trying to get the ball out so quick because he has no time to sit in the pocket. And I think that changes, with Austin Jackson coming back. Hopefully, I'm praying to God that he stays healthy the rest of the year. And again, like I keep saying, I know people might think I'm jumping to conclusions too quickly, but that Buffalo Bills game was pretty cool to see, and I think that definitely changes a lot of the hearts, towards this season. They have done it before. They have come back on a 7-game win streak before, and getting our offensive linemen back, the way that they performed when they did that 7-game win streak, I truly do believe the coaching staff is way better than, when the Brian Flores era when they had Josh Boyer, and you know I think it's way better, that year or this year. So we'll see what happens. But again, they're opening up the practice window this week, and I think that's going to change a lot of things. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Are you guys excited to get Austin Jackson back? And as always, praise God, love God, He's great all the time. Love you all. Peace.